Hey, so I have a question for you. What is keeping you stuck, and what is it going to take for you to achieve success? And maybe you're feeling stuck. Maybe you're not feeling the success that you thought you would achieve. Maybe you are looking at changing companies because that's where you're going to find the success, and you're going to call it shiny object syndrome, call it whatever. But sometimes that's not going to be the answer. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I actually changed companies 16 months ago, and it was a decision I based on a few things. But if you're joining me, let me know who you are and where you're coming in from. And if you're watching the replay, then please comment #replay so that I can give you a shout out. Let me know you can hear me too. I hope the sound is up. Hey, Julie, lovely to see you. Did I say what my name was? Anyway, I said I'm Fran Loebscher, but sorry, I'm losing it. But let me know where you're coming in from. And if you're watching the replay, then please comment #replay. But the reason I changed companies, hey, Julie, I hope you are well. I hope you are fabulous. But the reason I changed company was a couple of things, because I was feeling stuck. I had made my list of 100 people. I was doing all the home parties. I was doing the hotel meetings. I was bugging all my friends and family until nobody was speaking to me. But to start out with, it worked. And people often say, well, you start a new business. Absolutely tell your family and friends, because it would be, so say you were opening up a restaurant. Are you going to keep that quiet from your friends and family because you don't want to bug them? Of course you're going to tell them, this is what I'm doing. I've opened up a restaurant. Sat in your hairdresser. Oh, fantastic. Enjoy it. I love going to the hairdresser. But you've opened up a business. This is what you're doing. Tell them without any expectation of them wanting to join you or wanting to buy from you, but just tell them, say, this is what I'm doing, and I'm just telling you so you know what I'm doing, okay? Don't expect anything. It worked to begin with. Yes, absolutely. And for me, it worked to begin with. And then the longer I did it, the less it worked. People didn't want to have parties. I couldn't get people to come to hotel meetings. I couldn't get people to come to home parties unless I tricked them into coming, which was awful. But the worst thing was that my husband, I was supposedly working from home, except that he would come home from work and I'd go out to go and do a party. Okay. And it wasn't working. And I wasn't home. I was out all the time, So, here's the things that I looked for, and I think the things that you should look for. Jane, lovely to see you. I hope you are having a fabulous day. It is pouring with rain here. It is a revolting day. But the first thing that I looked for was an online system, okay, and an online mass duplication system, okay. So a system that I could plug into to build online, and that I could plug all my teammates into to build online, so that I didn't have to take my foot off the pedal, so that I didn't have to stop what I was doing to train them, that they would plug in, and then I would just be there to support them. Yeah. So if this is making sense, then give me a high five, because a mass duplication system is key to achieving the success that you want to achieve, I think. Okay. So number one is a mass duplication system. Number two was having a unique product. So in the company I was with before, there were lots of other companies that had similar things. There were lots of companies, you could buy products that were similar in the supermarkets. Okay. So it was always trying to justify why my product was better than what you could get elsewhere. Okay. But if you have a unique product that you cannot get anywhere else, then you have a captive market. Okay. So the second thing was a unique product. And also, for me, it had to be a product that I knew that I would take no matter what, that I knew that I would take even if it wasn't associated with the compensation plan, that is consumable, that the customers will want to take, that is going to change lives, and that the customers will continue to buy month after month after month after month. Okay. So that's the second thing, was the product. Okay. And the third thing, and probably actually this came first, if I'm to be completely honest, this came first, was the team that I joined. And having a team that would support me, that would mentor me, that would train me, that would coach me, and the culture of compassion where everybody matters. So the little guy, the big guy, didn't matter where you were, so long as you were doing what was expected of you, so long as you were plugging into the training and doing what you should be doing, everybody is supported. So those were three things that were absolutely key for me. So let me know if this is making sense, Julie. If this is making sense, then drop a one in the comments if this is making sense. And if you're watching the replay and it's making sense, then drop a one in the comments, because those three things for me were key. Okay, and that was why I ended up changing companies. Okay, so then what is it going to take? If you've got all these things and you're still feeling stuck, is plug into the system and do what has worked. Do what is working for the leaders. Do what is working for everybody else. Mimic what they're doing and then make it your own. You've got to be yourself and put your personality out there, okay? There's no point in thinking, okay, well, this is what Which is doing, this is what, Brandy's doing, whatever. So I'm just going to do exactly what they're doing, because they've each got their own voice. They've each got their own personalities, and it's not going to come across as genuine. So you've got to put your own personality out there, put your stamp on it, and put yourself out there, okay? But do everything. If say there are, 5 things that you should be doing every day, or 10 things you should be doing every day, whatever you should be doing every day, and you should be doing lives, you should be doing posts, you should be reaching out to people, you should be growing your team, you should be engaging with your team, you should be promoting to that team, you should be appreciating people, if there's so many things that you should be doing, don't just decide that I'm going to do lives and I'm going to post once a week or whatever, but I'm not going to keep growing my team. I'm not going to engage with my audience, and I'm not going to keep growing my audience. I'm not going to keep engaging with my audience, and I'm not going to promote to my audience. You can't pick and choose what if this is what has worked and this is what is in this system and this is what's worked for everybody else, then plug into it and do it all. Okay, there's no point. And it may mean stepping out of your comfort zone big time, but that's okay. You're going to have to step out of your comfort zone. Nia, lovely to see you. I hope you are well. I hope you're having a fabulous day. I don't know what it's like down there, but it is revolting here. It is pouring with rain. Samra, lovely to see you. I hope you are fabulous. You caught me. Yay, you've made my day. I actually haven't seen your lives for ages. I must find you. I must check that I've got my notifications on for you. In fact, if you haven't got notifications on for when I go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Please turn on your notifications so you get notified when I go live. But as I said, you need to put your personality out there, okay? But also know that it's going to take time, okay? And sometimes, people look at somebody who comes into a team, or they look at somebody who walks on stage and they joined a month ago and they've rank advanced 5 times, okay? The difference between what they have and what you have is influence. They have built an audience, they have influence and authority over that audience, so that when they decide that they're going to maybe change companies, and everybody comes with them. Okay, if you're starting out from scratch, you don't have influence over your audience, you don't have authority over your audience. So stick with it, do what you need to do, and become an influence, become an authority, and it will happen, provided you take consistent action. Okay, so just know that it's going to take time. And if you think you're only going to give it 4 or 5 months and you haven't achieved the success you want to achieve, well, I'm sorry, you haven't given it long enough. Okay, it will take time. You need to give it time. So just thinking about all these things, do you have the support? Do you have a duplicatable system for people to plug into so that they can build their businesses online? Do you have this? And I think what is important is that a lot of people are so in love with their company and in love with their products that they actually can't see. They're thinking with their heart. In fact, Colleen Lava did a fantastic live on this the other day. They're thinking, I think yesterday, they're thinking with their heart, and you've got to think with your head too. You've got to think logically about, maybe you love your company and you love the products, but you don't have a duplicatable system. You don't have the team support. Or maybe they're only teaching you how to build offline, and you're thinking, I'm sick of doing parties. I'm sick of, bugging all my friends and family. So if these are things that you are struggling with, maybe you don't have a duplicatable system, and people come into your team and you're spending all your time training and supporting your team, okay, and you take your foot off the pedal and then you go back to square one again. Okay, so I think that you've got 2 options. Either you need to create that duplicatable system for your team. Okay, create that duplicatable system so that, you know, whenever anybody comes into your team, they can plug into it and go. Okay, that you don't have to take your foot off the pedal, that you can carry on, you know, carry on recruiting, carry on talking to people and carry on recruiting, and they plug into the system. It's a very good way to know as well whether, you know, that is somebody you want to work with, because if they are not plugging into the system and not doing the training, well, maybe they're not coachable. You know, you need somebody who's going to be coachable, who's going to, you know, go do the training, come to, you know, if you have meetings online, who's going to come to meetings, who's going to come to events. But you need to have somebody who's coachable, you know. But if you, and this is what I didn't want to create, I thought I actually do not have the time to create this duplicatable system. So if you don't have a duplicatable system and you want to look into and plug into a duplicatable system, then drop system in the comments, and, you know, let's chat, and I can show you, you know, what has been created, so that you know, either you go and create it or join somebody who has a duplicatable system in place. But I think these, you know, these things that are really, really important. And often you've got to, you know, stop thinking with your heart, stop, you know, being so emotionally attached to your company. Because if you have this dream, to retire from your jobs, to be there from your job, to be there for your kids, and then ultimately, you know, to retire your husband, so that you can be a family, and be there for each other, you know, and live life to the full, then you need to find a company, a team, a system, a product that will put you on that path to success. So if this is making sense, if this is of value, then please comment #value in the comments below. If you want to have a look at, you know, what it's going to take, if you want to have a look at, you know, a system, then comment system in the comments, and I'll happily share it with you. But otherwise, I will be back on Monday. Have a fabulous weekend, and appreciate you all for joining. So Nia on my business page, and Julie, Jane, Margarita, Lisa, Samra, and Peter, thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate you. Nia, thank you for the value. I appreciate that. And I'll see you on Monday. Have an awesome weekend. Love you all loads. Bye.